Hello in my voice family. It's your boy Bwanaheri here, and I'm very excited to be back here with you on another episode of the In My Voice podcast that's very close to my heart. And guess what? It's dropping on an incredibly important day, World Mental Health Day. Today, 10th October, we are about highlighting the theme prioritizing mental health in the workplace. And trust me, this is a conversation we need to be having. Let's be real for a moment. Whether you are grinding at the office, running your own hustle, or even working from your home in your pajamas, the pressure is real. We are juggling deadlines, meetings, emails, side gigs, family, and our sanity. It's easy to get lost in the grind and forget that your mind needs just as much care as your body. So today, we're going to dig deep into how to balance your mental health with your productivity without necessarily burning out. And I promise you, it's going to be fun and something you actually already know. Because let's face it, we've all been there.
Have you ever wanted to read a letter that was meant for someone else? Have you ever wanted to travel the world but didn't have the time or the money? If so, you are in the right place. Welcome to In My Voice, the podcast where we read letters and share travel stories about places by our guests. I am your host Bwanaheri, and each week I'll guide you through these two different yet fascinating worlds. In the first segment, we'll read letters written to listeners like you about a variety of subjects, from heartwarming stories to heartbreaking experiences. These letters offer a unique perspective on the human experience. Some of them will make you laugh, while the others will bring a tear to your eye. But they all have one thing in common. They are written from the heart. In the second segment, we will embark on a journey to explore the world through travel stories. We'll visit exotic destinations, meet interesting people, and experience the joys and challenges of traveling. Whether you are a seasoned traveler or someone who's always dreamed of seeing the world, you will find something to inspire you in these stories. So, join me every week as we dive into these two fascinating worlds. In My Voice. I promise you won't be disappointed. Subscribe now and don't miss an episode.
You know those days when you've got a to-do list that feels like it's a mile long and all you want is to curl up in a ball and forget it all? Yeah, we're tackling that head on today. So, just sit and relax and do whatever gets you in a relaxed mood. And let's figure out how we can stay on top of our game without losing our mind in the process. Let's talk about how we can work smarter and take care of ourselves. Dear overworked self, it's me, the version of you that's a bit wiser, a bit calmer, and perhaps most importantly, still standing strong despite the bars of deadlines, meetings, and that pesky thing we call stress. Today I want to have a little heart-to-heart with you. I know it's been rough. I know there have been moments when it feels like you're being squeezed by the weight of expectations, both yours and the world's. But find a quiet corner and let's talk about something we all need to focus on. Finding balance. Yes, balance in this fast-paced, must-hustle, must-grind life we all live. Let's figure out how to stay productive without losing our minds in the process, shall we? I remember the first time I felt completely overwhelmed by work. It was one of those days where the to-do list seemed endless and every email notification felt like another weight being added to an already overloaded cart. I was caught in the circle of do more, achieve more, and don't get me wrong, I am all for pushing myself, but at what cost? Does this sound familiar to you? We've all been there, and with the pressure cooker that is our modern work life, it's easy to feel like you are not doing enough, no matter how much you are doing. But here's the truth. Your mental wellness is just as important as your productivity. No, actually, it's more important. Because if you are burnout, stressed out, and drained, what are you really achieving? Now, I know. You might be thinking, sure, Bwana, easier said than done. But that's why I'm here today, to remind you and myself that it's possible to strike a balance. Not only is it possible, it's essential. So let's dive into it. First, be okay with saying no. Listen, I had to learn this the hard way. There was a time when I thought saying no would ruin everything. Whatever it was, whether it was a new project, a favor for a friend, or just staying late to finish that one last thing, I would say yes to everything. And let me tell you, that's the fastest way to feel like your soul has been wrung out like a wet towel. Here's the truth. Saying no doesn't make you lazy or unambitious. In fact, it makes you smart. When you say no to what doesn't serve your priorities, you make room for what does. It's about being intentional with your time and energy. So, dear overworked self, give yourself permission to say no sometimes. Step 2. Make time for mental breaks. Let's talk about breaks, shall we? No, not scrolling through your phone during lunch or half listening to a podcast or music while you answer your emails. I mean, real breaks, where you step away from your hustle and let your mind breathe. And I'm not talking about grand vacations, although if you can, go for it. I'm talking about those 10 minutes you take in between tasks, those moments where you just breathe. Studies show that regular breaks boost productivity. You're not a machine, so stop trying to operate like one. Your brain needs those moments to recharge. A 10 minutes walk, some deep breathing, maybe even a quick chat with a friend. All of that adds up to a more focused, less stressed version of you. And let me tell you a little secret. Ever heard of something called the Pomodoro technique? It's where you work for 25 minutes and then take a 5 minutes break. Then just rinse and repeat. I've tried it, and it's changed the way I approach work. Those little breaks have made me feel less overwhelmed and more in control of my day. Try it and see if it helps you too. If you have a task, give yourself an amount of time where you are fully concentrated on the task and give yourself a 5 or 10 minutes break and then come back and complete your task. That is the Pomodoro technique. Trust me, it works. I've tried it. Another powerful technique is progressive muscle relaxation. This involves tensing and relaxing different muscle groups in your body. First, start with your toes. Tense your toes for a few seconds, then release. Yeah, let's do it together. Tense your toes, release. Again, tense your toes, release. Then move up your body. Go to your ankles, go to your calves, go to your thighs, tighten them, release. Your buttocks, squeeze, release. You need to pay attention to the difference between tension and relaxation. And make sure that you work this out throughout your body, up to the head. By practicing these techniques regularly, you can develop a greater sense of calm and resilience in the face of stress. Step 3 of balancing your stress and productivity. Redefine what productive means to you. Now, this one's big. This one's big. We need to talk about what it actually means to be productive. For too long, we've been told that productivity means doing as much as possible in the shortest amount of time. But that's not productivity. That's exhaustion on steroids. So let's redefine productivity together. Productivity isn't about how much you do. It's about how well you do it. It's about focusing on what really matters, rather than being busy just for the sake of it. For example, maybe your productive day involves finishing one big project with excellence, rather than juggling 10 things at once and half-assing all of them. Quality over quantity, my friend. Look, I'm speaking from experience here. I've tried to juggle like 15 things in one day. And let me tell you, I've always ended up feeling like I have achieved totally nothing. So, focus on what's truly important and give yourself grace when your to-do list isn't completely checked off by the end of the day. So, redefine what productive means to you. Step 4, create boundaries between work and life. Now, this one is crucial, especially for those of us who work remotely or bring work home. There needs to be a clear boundary between work and life. I used to check my work emails at 10 p.m., reply to messages on weekends, and guess what? I thought I was being dedicated. In reality, I was just burning out. You need that boundary. When the workday ends, it ends. Close the laptop. Log off. Shut down. Tunyuke, bagay, tunyuke. Give your mind the space to transition from work mode to life mode. This allows you to recharge for the next day. When you get home, let the work stress stay at work. In one of the episodes I did earlier in the year, I told you guys, your boss doesn't care about you. He cares about what you bring to the company. Step 5. Take care of your mental health like you would a physical injury. If you sprained your ankle, you wouldn't just walk it off, would you? You'd give it a rest, take some painkillers, maybe even go to the doctor. So, why is it that when our mental health starts to suffer, we think we can just push through? It doesn't work like that, my friend. Your mental health deserves the same attention you give to your physical health. If you are feeling overwhelmed, anxious, or just not yourself, take a step back. Talk to someone, whether it's a friend, a therapist, or even a trusted colleague. There is no shame in saying, I need help. So, dear overworked self, as I wrap up, I want you to remember this. You are more than your to-do list. You are more than your productivity. You are a human being, and your mental health matters. Prioritize it, protect it, nurture it. And hey, if you found this episode helpful, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with a friend who could use a little reminder to slow down and breathe. Make sure to subscribe to the In My Voice podcast and catch all the upcoming episodes where we dive even deeper into life's biggest questions and how we can navigate them together. Until next time, breathe, take it easy, and remember, it's all about balance. This is Bwanaheri. Until next time, stay well.